Joel Leyden reporting live for the Israel News Agency at the Facing Tomorrow conference in Jerusalem, Israel. With me is Mr. Maurice Levy, the CEO of the Publicis Group. Maurice, thank you for making the time to be with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's so moving to be in Jerusalem, particularly on the 60th anniversary of its independence. And I feel not only at home, but also so emotionally surprised by the achievement of this country. It's always a surprise. It's amazing to see the progress in so many areas: infrastructure, innovation, technology, research. So it's, for me, a very good moment.
Now, you are the CEO and the chairman of the Publicis Group, one of the world's most respected advertising public relations firms. What is Publicis doing today?
Publicis is first changing itself in order to cope with the new world. We are today the largest agency in terms of internet, so we are the leader of the world, well ahead of all our competitors. We are spanning in more than 100 countries, and what makes me really very proud is the fact that our people are really changing our agency and the way we work. So it's a very exciting moment for us, and this shows in our numbers, in our growth, in our victories. When we pitch, we won, and we win much more than our competitors. So it's good. We are in a good moment.
So you started off with four-color display, bleed ads, printed ads, and now you're moving into the digital world of internet. How does it feel to be going from print to digital?
For me, it's not a very difficult step because my background is to be an engineer, and I started in IT. So I see this as a natural trend. And what is important is not so much to see the kind of tool that you are using, but the content that you are delivering. And what's good with internet, it is interactive. We should never forget the people have the possibility of reacting. There is the feedback. You send an image, you send a message, and you have the consumer who tell you, yes, I'm here. Or, no, I don't like what you are telling me. And this is helping you to be better. So I love the interactive world. I love the digital world because this is changing the conversation with the consumer. It is also empowering the consumer and making our job more humble and at the same time more responsible. So I think it's a new era for us. And as Israel is a land of opportunity, I think that internet is a new land of opportunity.
As one of the most respected names in terms of image making, what would you suggest to the Israeli government regarding Israel's image?
Israeli government to suggest something, it's very hard. One thing that I would dare to do, I should not do that, but I would dare to do. Israel is a formidable story, and what is very painful for the Jews of the world and for the Israeli people is to see that justice is not made in terms of image. What we see on TV is everything which is interesting for the people and the journalists, which is blood, which is death, which is misery, and we don't see what Israel has been able to achieve. And I think that there is two or three things that I would like to tell my Israeli friends. First, I would like to congratulate them and congratulate President Shimon Peres for this conference, because this is one of the best piece of PR that he could have created. The second, I would like to say that we have to change the conversation. We have to change the way conversation is happening regarding Israel. We have to have a conversation when we say, yes, we are open to peace, yes, we are open to build something with our neighbors, but behind safety and security and borders which are clear. And that is changing conversation instead of starting with security. The last thing that I would like to say that I know it is almost impossible because we are in a Jewish country, but it is to try to speak with one voice. And if we can have the Israeli government, Tzahal, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, speaking with one voice, telling the same message, about at the same time, I think we will do a much better justice to the story of Israel.
Recently, the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been focusing on good-looking people on Israel's beaches. What do you think about that?
It's not a bad story for beaches and for coming to spend vacation in Israel. So I think that's not. We should not mix the things. Tourism is a very good thing, and I think that showing that the people of Israel are just beautiful.
Showing good-looking people in bathing suits playing volleyball.
That's fine. That's fine. But that will.
That sells, right? You're an advertising man. Sex sells, right?
Sex sells. I'm sorry to say. Yes, still now.
So the government is doing something right.
It's doing something great for tourism. And I think that helping people to come over to Israel, to spend time, to spend their money in Israel, it's good. What we need to do is when they are here in Israel, is to tell them the story of Israel. A nice story that they can take home, not only with the feeling of having had a good vacation and met some great people, but also the fact that they can be the ones who will then see friends and say, you know, you have an opinion about Israel, I will tell you the reality about Israel. Israel is a country of pioneers. Israel is a country where education is the highest in the world. Israel is a country who is spending a lot of money on research. Israel is a country who cares about their neighbors. Israel is a country with a high level of morality. Israel is a vibrant democracy. Israel is a country you should respect, you should love.
On this, the occasion of Israel's 60th anniversary birthday, what message would you give to the Jewish people? And I would like you to give this message both in English and in your native French.
You want me to speak in French?
Oui, pourquoi pas?
Avec plaisir. Je veux dire à mes amis juifs du monde entier qu'Israël est un pays si magnifique qu'ils devraient l'aimer, le respecter et qu'ils devraient en être fiers. Que ce que nous voyons ici est quelque chose d'assez extraordinaire, dont tous les juifs doivent être fiers. Et puis je voudrais leur dire aussi que, ayant participé ce matin à un débat sur l'antisémitisme, il faut absolument qu'ils sachent résister à cela.
In the English translation?
Okay, I will try to do it in English now. I said that being here in Israel is something which should make all the Jews of the world very proud of the achievements of Israel. And having been part of a session on anti-Semitism, I would like to tell everyone on earth that we should resist and we should fight anti-Semitism, bigotry, and obscurantism everywhere.
Maurice Levy, the CEO and director of the Publicis Group, thank you very much for being here and contributing to Israel's 60th birthday. Kol hakavod, which means
Kol hakavod.
good for you.
Kol hakavod. Toda rabba.
Toda.